Hello, Visionaries. Welcome back. I am Leonidas. This is Nuclearis, and we're on patch 197. Today, I'm going to do a first look at easy mode. All of my 191 plus videos have been in normal mode, and you might ask, okay, so why do easy mode? Well, the reason is because in Apprentice and easy mode, the game acts differently. We got the new Reactor vacuum system in patch 191, and getting the condensate flow rate and the extraction flow rate, the EFR, CFR matched, and getting that steam to condensate back into water has kind of been a struggle for some people to balance, and a lot of people are kind of having trouble or upsetting themselves over the condenser fill level. Well, in easy and apprentice mode, the game actually does it differently. Supposedly it's instant, and so I want to see what that looks like. I've never tested it. I have never looked at it or even opened it to see what's different. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing some testing and letting you all come along and take a look. So let's go easy mode, and we'll accept it. We're going to do chemicals off because I don't want to, mix things up. And away we go. Let's see how this turns out. We'll see how it goes. What should we talk about? We're waiting for it to load. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, usually I get the little bell ding. Okay. Oh, also, before we get going, I have changed up my settings for recording videos. It should be better. I've optimized my recording software settings, so I need your feedback. Please let me know if you see, like when I do things like this, or if I look at something and then I turn kind of fast. Sometimes it gets glitchy when I do that, so I need to know if it does that. Anyway, okay, here we go. On with the show. I'm gonna be using my checklist. So if you need that to follow along, you can find that in the description. The link for that, it's a Google Doc. So. All right, here we go. Activate all terminals. Yep, that's already done. External power on. Excellent. Generators manual. Yep, as expected. Okay, the pressurizer. We're going to go on and on. And I'm actually just going to set this to medium so I don't have to watch and turn it off later. This way it won't over-pressurize. And I'm going to put it on triple speed. We're going to set bypass to 100. Let's go here. And if you want to know more about that pressurizer, I'll put a little thing up in the upper right corner here called a card. It has the video on that pressurizer and why I'm doing this, the changes that came with it. And you can go check out that video. We're going to go next. Let's see, bypass 100. Yes, resistor bank on. Oh, very important step. Gotta follow the checklist. MSCV set to 6. If you want to know more about this startup, I guess I'll add another one, another card to show my startup method for this one. Why I do 6 now. SimZ we're going to set to 100. OMZ set to 100. It'll explain all these settings, why I have them this way in that video. We'll run back over and we're looking for about 160 there. Okay, so we are on triple speed. And do I want to go high mode? Sure, why not? I know I'm going away from but this will just speed things up. Then when it gets to 340, I dump it back down. Okay, let's go back to, actually we go to low at this point. Okay, we should be close. Oh yeah, we are more than close. Okay, perfect. We want to avoid that dropping out from 60. Supposedly it can run fine, our pressurizer and our core with our pressurizer not being at 60, but I don't know. It just seems weird. I'd rather have it be normal than play with it low and just say, oh, it's fine. It ignores it. Because then if I get used to that method and something changes later, the developer goes, oh, it did not come out as intended or as designed. I'm going to change that. Well, now I have to relearn the system. So I'm going to keep doing what I've always been doing. Okay, operating mode to normal. Sorry, nominal. I still do that. Load that fuel. Primary pump on, set to 15. Right there. And give it 3 of these guys. 1,
The
2,
reactor core coolant
3.
has started to circulate.
And whoops. Lost my mouse here. Scrolling my oh no. Scrolling my checklist. On the other screen. Condenser, okay. And then primary pump condenser on. Yep, very important. Don't forget this step. Set to medium. And let's pull rods. Okay, 93.3 is what we do on normal mode, so I'm going to stick with it. 93. This will take me exactly to 100, or I'm sorry, 300, which is what I want. So I'm going to go triple speed now. Yep. And we're going to wait for heat to be made after this animation. Okay, and now what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for this to fall to 25,000, and when that happens, I will turn on my secondary pump to start refilling it, and then we will, what we're doing right now is waiting for the retention tank to start filling. And so we're generating all this steam, the heat from the core is going through the primary pump, and being brought down in here to boil off all this water. We're creating a whole ton of steam, and it is actually moving through the system and slowly but surely entering, or going through the pipes to start entering the retention tank. And we want that filled up so we can snap on our vacuum pump. Very important piece. So wait this to get 60. Okay, we're gonna go single speed now, just so I don't miss it. If you kick it on early, no harm there. If you kick it on late, also no harm there. This is just where I like to do it because it gets me to about the fill level that I like operating, which is between about 12 and 16,000 liters. So just the timing of it, I've just kind of done enough times that I know this is where I want to kick it on. So this is why I put it in the checklist where I do. And so now what we're waiting on, we'll go triple speed again, is we're waiting for the retention tank to fill. So I think what I'll do is I'm not going to touch anything until the retention tank comes back. So for brevity's sake, I will cut away and then come back when this is at 50%. Okay, I brought you back early because I came over and noticed that our core is cooling off by quite a bit. This is not as expected, so I'm actually going to lower this by quite a bit. I think it got down to 300, but it's been dropping, so that was... Oh, see, now it's just shooting up. Interesting. Huh, okay, it was definitely going down. And now it seems to be holding like it should. That's quite bizarre. I'm going to chalk that up to a... I'm going to have to test that further. I'm going to chalk that up to an easy mode weird thing. But, yeah, that's... Yeah, I think when I brought you guys back, it was, what, 298? And you got to see it drop to 297? Maybe I'll cut the video back before I actually start talking so you can see what I'm talking about. So anyway, okay, so we're there. So we're going to go vacuum pump on. We are in startup mode. And we then can start setting our bypass to 0 now because our retention tank's full. And we don't need it anymore. So we will take this down. Now, the key is... so now that this is falling, and I believe this is because I'm opening up... Well, no, it's just because it doesn't have enough motive steam to keep the vacuum pump up, but it will soon. It will soon as we make more steam. So the key is we don't want our... I may have actually done that a little early. We don't want our turbines to start until this gets to 0.1. Okay, so we're there. Okay, so now we're going to go operational mode. Excellent. And now we can adjust as this closes. We should... is our core cooling off again? No. Nope, temperature's holding steady. Okay, so we should be sending steam now to the turbines. And when this gets low enough, our torque should be starting to rise. Okay. Fairly soon. This, I think, gets down to 35-ish. There we go. Okay, so now we've started coming through. I will request the startup from the city for the next hour. Okay, going back to my checklist. Once bypass reaches 0, we can set SimZ to 0. I'm actually going to leave it open because there are times, especially after startup, where we open up bypass and we need it to supplement the steam that the retention tank's getting. So I'm going to put actually at like 90. I don't know that I need it at 100, but this should be climbing now, which it is. That's as expected. That's part of why we have this at 6, and that's why we have this at 100. If I were to put it at 30, then it would freeze. It'll just kind of hold steady. Okay, so this is rising, and yeah, once this climbs back to 49.75 or thereabouts, I'll turn my OMSI down to 30 because that should be about the time that it gets me to 50. So we'll wait for that. We're waiting for this to start up as normal. And what I should see, yeah, my condenser easily, the CFR on the right easily matching the extraction flow on the left. Right now, what would be happening in normal mode is this would be slowly climbing. Ever so slowly climbing up. We're over here. Let's see, why are you at 56? Oh yeah, of course, because I have that open at 6. I can match that. Although no, I'm just gonna stick with my normal method. I don't want to change it. Yeah, there's my warp speed synchroscope. That's why I don't sit over there, because I don't want to hear it. Where are we at? Okay, so we're getting close. Still on triple speed, and I'll slow it down once it gets to 49.75. And why does this have to be at 50? I don't know. I just like it. This acts as a buffer, remember, between the vacuum pump and, well, just for the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump is using the steam that is entering the retention tank to operate and generate the vacuum. It's drawing steam from right now, because my bypass is 0. All the steam that I'm generating, my steam generators, is going through the turbine, and from the turbine it returns to the condenser. We're pulling off a small portion of that through the OMSI, and I'm damping that down even further to feed into the retention tank. It passes through. See, that was pretty close. All right, that was pretty close. And it passes through the ejector. Actually, it comes through the ejector here. These don't actually work the way that it's shown here. They actually kind of meet. It'd be better if they met back here and then came in this way. But anyway, they're meeting in the ejector, and it goes from the ejector into the retention tank, and that's where it gets filled up. So you don't want it too full, because then it causes issues, and obviously too empty, and it will cause issues because the vacuum pump won't have what it needs to, well, create the vacuum. Now, so this is, yeah, still sitting at 48. Where does that 48 come from? I don't know exactly. Oh, we can go back to triple speed now. On my checklist, I'm now at about, let's see, between 22 and 23, waiting for that turbine speed to get up to 3052. So again, people right now would be freaking out about their condenser fill level. It would be falling, and in a minute, when I've completed the startup, I'll do an explanation of what's going on and why we're seeing that. So you can see that it doesn't really change the startup a whole lot. It doesn't. Oh, and actually, no, it's fine. What I was thinking is, now that I'm not filling up the retention tank, the reason I leave this at 6 is so that this fills faster. Now that it's full and steady, I actually don't need this at 6 anymore. However, we are pushing a little bit more than 50. If I brought this down to 5, the MSCV down to 5, my steam outlet would drop to 50, 10 times that, because bypass is closed. And which is what we're going to do as soon as we're finished starting up. The reason I haven't is because that little extra steam is just helping with a little bit extra torque, which helps it to start up just a little bit faster. It's really not that big of a deal. And it looks like I requested started from the city too early. I'm not going to make it by 1 o'clock. So I was busy yakking too long beforehand. So right now I should be, the starting up has gone away, the green letters. I should be producing steam. So I don't think I'm going to get my 90% for the hour. We'll see what we can do. Okay, Alt and Shift to mash this. Green sync. Now we close. Now we're producing, and we'll see what estimate it gives us. So now that I have connected, right, we are on 23, and then, or actually it's 24. Now we take our MSCV down to 5, and you'll see this go to 50. And yeah, 83%. So we're going to miss it for this hour, and we can actually adjust that. I'm not going to do it right now because that's not why we're here for this video. The way that I would get around that is I would just overproduce. I would use bypass to bring this down to say 11 megawatts, turn off resistor bank, and try and overproduce a little bit for the hour. So you can see that by putting this back to 5, we came to 50, and now we're perfectly balanced here. Our generator, or excuse me, our steam generator level is right around 15,000, which is what I prefer. The middle number, which is our coolant evaporated, the rate at which the water is being boiled off. If it's below, if the middle number is lower than the left number represents how much water is coming back into the steam generator, how much water we're returning since we're boiling off liquid water. We need to return liquid water. The return of the liquid water is on the left. The middle number is how quickly or how much water we are boiling off at that moment and turning into steam, how much liquid water we're losing. When those numbers match, the steam generator volume freezes. It jumps up, it jumps down. It's just how the game calculations work, but it kind of hovers around the same value. So it's probably going to stay around 15,100. Like you see here, it'll go up a little bit, it'll stop, it'll come back down like it's doing now, and it'll just ping pong up and down. Nothing to be concerned about. Our condenser is perfectly balanced. She's frozen. In normal mode, we would not be. This would be probably pretty low, maybe in the 30s at this point, if I remember right. And it will slowly climb to that 50. So what happens is steam turning back into water is a process, and it takes time, and it's dependent on a few different variables. In the normal mode, that is what goes on. In easy mode, this is how the game was prior to patch 191. In patch 190 and earlier, this is what we saw. It was just instant, it always matched. We never actually had this gauge to show us, but it was just happening instantly, and our condenser levels would basically just stay frozen. That's where we're at now, and that's what's happening in easy mode. Yeah, core temperature. That was really bizarre about the core temperature. I just had to, it looked like maybe I just needed to cycle it down and then up for it to kind of wake back up, but yeah, that was really strange. And no, I don't have an explanation for it. I'll test it further, see if there's a bug. Just do a bunch of startups in easy mode. But there you go. So this is the advantage of easy mode, is that the water, excuse me, the steam condenses back into water instantly. And so if I what determines that flow rate? A few things: pressure, temperature, and whatnot. If I were to, let's say I want to increase my demand output, so what I would normally do is I would go 6 here, I'd go 30 here, and my number's going to get all out of whack briefly. The middle number's going to drop quite a bit, maybe to 0 even, but it'll come back up. The left number's going to rise to and slowly reach 60, and I should throw this off. Yeah, so that one on the left went up to 60 because it matches basically this. The secondary pump speed directly controls your EFR and your CFR, because again what's happening is the EFR, extraction flow rate, is the rate at which water is being extracted or pulled from the condenser, and then it travels through the pipes down to this side, which is the return flow. This is how much of the water that has already left the condenser is returning to the steam generator. So these numbers will match. The reason why they didn't briefly is because when we increase that pump, the extra water takes time to actually flow through the pipes to match here. So there's a little bit of lag. It's not instant. But you'll see that things will eventually rebalance themselves. I guess I actually need more heat to make this happen. So let's bump this up to, let's just say 30. That'll be fine. I don't believe at 30 we get any extra cooling going on. It's not until we get above 30 for the most part. Unless... Nope, that's good. And that shot up because we brought in more heat, and we're boiling off more water, which, you know, this is why we got that went up to 60. But now this should balance out. It'll hover around the 60 mark. And then, you notice our CFR finally made its way up to match this. It will follow the EFR, which is what it does in normal mode too. It's just way slower to follow. So there you go. There's a demonstration of a startup in easy mode with no chemicals. It works the exact same way. Maybe something to do with a little bug here. So I guess it did. It is doing a little extra cooling. That also just may be the point in the game that we're at where it cools off. But yeah, there you go. We are making steam. We are balanced everywhere and doing our thing. That's easy mode. Start up on easy mode. Please, again, let me know how the graphics were, if you saw any glitches, so that I can go back and readjust it. I hope that I finally gotten it figured out. This should be the last time you ever have to hear me say that. Join my Discord, link in the description below. You can join my channel, which is become a member. You get extra perks, like when I release these videos, you get early access. My hoplites do. Members get other special privileges and things like that. So if you're interested, click the join button. But otherwise, yeah, just join the Discord. Get Nuclear Hour's help. We'll chat about things. That's where you can find me and another great community. And yeah, for now, I'm Leonidas. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you again soon.